Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. Topic for today's discussion is greatness of Krishna's appearance, and we'll touch a little bit part of this, and we'll continue this topic on the next Sunday as well. And and next Sunday we'll go a deeper, much more deeper into the Leela part of activity part of Lord. Lord comes and what does he do? And today we will talk more about how he comes and kind of how he comes, basically, how he manifests himself. So the greatness, and what is so great about it? Why it is called greatness of Krishna's appearance? My appearance was not great. I'm assuming your appearances were also not great. And when we will compare it with how Krishna appeared, we will figure it out why we considered our appearance to be not so great. So there is greatness attached to Krishna's appearance. So let's talk
Hare
about.
Krishna Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Your
Yes,
voice is little low because of the headphone, I guess.
uh, is this
Better
so?
now. Better
Yeah,
now.
better. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Mataji. So let's yeah, let's jump into the topic for today. And here, we're just giving a, a giving a summary of our objective of learning Bhagavad Gita. Our objective of learning Bhagavad Gita is to be able to follow the ultimate instruction by Bhagavad Gita, by by Lord Krishna given in the Bhagavad Gita, and that comes in the form of three beautiful verses: the ultimate instruction, ultimate benefit, and ultimate learning from Bhagavad Gita. The the ultimate instruction is 65, 66, and benefit of learning and benefit is given by Arjuna in 73rd verse. So the ultimate instruction is manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru mam iveshyasya satyam te pratijani priyosi me sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. This is what Krishna is saying. This is the ultimate instruction, the final instruction. The Mahashucha, do not fear, do not lament, do not do not cry, do not uh, come out of your shoka, come out of your distress, come out of your misery. That is the ultimate instruction given. And how? By surrendering to me completely. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Surrender to me. This surrender is not that of a soldier, of a commander in chief who has just lost a war. This surrender is like a small child who, when he hears the thundering of the cloud and the rain starts and the lightning starts, he wants to go run towards his mother and embrace very tightly, embrace her very tightly. So this child is running towards her mother, towards his mother, and embraces her very tightly, being fearful of the external situation, of the thundering of the cloud and the lightning and the heavy rain that's going on. So this sharanagati is out of love. And when the commander in chief surrenders after losing a war, that sharanagati is different than this sharanagati. So the child lovingly embraces his mother. That sharanagati is what is expected to be is the matitartha of this verse. And how Arjuna responds? Arjuna says, Nashto moha smritir labdhva tvat prasadan maya achyuta. Sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I will do your will. Whatever you will tell me, I will do. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, karo Krishna shiksha. Whatever instructions that you are giving me in Bhagavad Gita, I will do accordingly. I will act according to those instructions. That's what Arjuna is confirming to Krishna. So if we can follow these three verses, the whole Bhagavad Gita is summarized in these three verses. The whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is has been summarized, captured as an essence in these three verses. These two as instructions, and the third verse is how we should respond to these instructions, how we should follow these instructions. 18.65, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Now, it's not that uh,
Ex- Excuse me,
Arjuna,
Krishna.
yes, Prabhuji.
Excuse me, yes, Prabhuji, ye 65, 66, and 73 verses. Is it chapter 2?
नहीं नहीं 18th chapter 1865 1866 1873
Okay, obviously.
18वें
Okay,
अध्याय
thank you.
में हाँ this is in
Ah,
18 sessions.
okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare
and
Krishna.
then 18.66, but this is like a summary. Therefore, it's always, जैसे हमारा final destination होता है, हमारा final goal होता है, it's always good to remember that कि हमारा what is our final destination, वो blur नहीं होना चाहिए. What is our ultimate goal? That should not become blur in our mind. So, if it is always clear, we will keep working towards that. So 18.66, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. And 18.73, Arjuna saying, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and prepared to act according to your instructions. So this Arjuna, which is the Shokakul Arjuna, Arjuna who is crying, Arjuna who doesn't know what to do. Arjuna is in stress. Arjuna is anxiety. Arjuna is experiencing anxiety, depression. All these current words you can apply to this situation. To this Arjuna on the left hand side who's sitting in the chariot crying, head down, not knowing what to do, confused, powerless. He's powerful, but he's experiencing as if he's powerless. He says, I'm sitting because I'm unable to stand on my feet. And compare it to this with this Arjuna on the right hand side, who is encouraged, who is purpose driven, who know what to do, who is enthusiastic about doing what he's supposed to be doing, eager, eager to act. Now, now this is the Arjuna we wants to become. We all want to become, and he's now ready. He says, "I will do your will, O Krishna. Whatever you want, I will do." So this is Arjuna is trying to ready to serve Krishna in whatever capacity that he wants to be served. So this is a devotional transformation. This transformation is out of love, not out of force. The battlefield, such a significant setting on which or the backdrop in which Bhagavad Gita was spoken. All of us experience battle all the time. Battle with our own mind, battle with our family members, battle with our relatives, battle with our friends, battle with our boss, battle with our financial situation, battle with my health situation, battle with my career choices. We are fighting many battles and battle with my temptations, battle with my lower instincts, battle with my lower desires. How am I not able to keep them in check? How they overpower me, they make me do horrible things. These battles are not always visible, but they exist. They exist inside my mind. I'm playing this battle, I'm fighting these battles all the time. That drains my consciousness, that drains my energy, that drains my ability to perform bhakti. And this is this is why Bhagavad Gita becomes so significant, so important to learn and practice. The hierarchy of knowledge. The knowledge, we saw this right last session, just doing a quick recap. because we are meeting after almost 15 days. So, the chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is referred to as knowledge section of Bhagavad Gita, which talks about knowledge. Knowledge, what is knowledge? Knowledge that we are not this body, we are spirit, soul is knowledge. Knowledge, this is knowledge is when you are able to differentiate between spiritual and material, a temporary and permanent. That is knowledge. So the knowledge, uh, but it is not ultimate knowledge. Knowledge is necessary, but this is not ultimate knowledge, because aham brahmasmi tells me that I am Brahman, I am eternal, I am I cannot be killed, and I should not be indulging into the temporary activities. I don't belong to this world. I'm superior than matter. All this knowledge help, but that is not ultimate knowledge, because unless I understand what is my relationship with Supreme Soul, Parabrahma, my knowledge that I am Brahma is incomplete. So superior than this knowledge is what comes in chapter 4, that what we are going to discuss, that superior knowledge, where Krishna is going to speak about himself in little bit more detail. It's not lot in detail, but it is a little bit more in detail than what he has done so far in the entire Bhagavad Gita, from chapter 2, 2.11, when he start giving instruction, when he spoke Ashochananva Shochastvam Prakyavadanshcha Bhasase. So from that moment onwards till third chapter, end of third chapter, or the so this Krishna has barely spoken about himself. Krishna has spoken little bit, made one reference in chapter 2 when he says when he says about 2.61, when he says you can make me the goal of your controlled senses, then controlling senses becomes easy. And Prabhupada gives example that of Ambarish Maharaj, that you can control senses to become Miss India. You can control senses to pass in, prepare, and appear for some examination. You can control senses to make your career. You can control, there can be multiple goals that you can have for controlling your senses and urges, regulating your urges. But Krishna says all that are good but not good enough. The best is to invest in me. Best is to control your senses so that you can concentrate on me. You can make me the goal of your controlled senses. So I will I will I will control my the the eyes have a propensity to see, but I will not let my eyes see anything and everything. I will divert them, I will control them, and I will invest them in seeing Krishna. My ears have a propensity to hear, but I will not let my ears hear anything garbage. I will I will hear Krishna Katha. I will regulate them. I will withdraw them if they are hearing, they become engaged in hearing any garbage. I will withdraw them from there, and I will divert them towards hearing Krishna Katha. That way, I will make Krishna the goal of my control senses. So that comes in 2.61. And later in third chapter, Krishna says about Yad Yad Achariti Sreshthas. And later he says that even I am performing duties. I have nothing to achieve in these three lokas, but still I'm standing in front of you doing my duty. Because if I stop doing my duty, citing me as an example, people will give up actions. People will become irresponsible and they will blame me for that. They said, what Krishna did, we are also trying to do. So I am also a leader in the society, and I'm the king of Dwarka. So I also have that responsibility, and therefore I'm also acting, even though I don't have to act. Nobody can force me to act. So Krishna gives a little bit more detail about his position in this material world, but but restrain himself from speaking in detail. Later in 3.30, where he brings him up again, saying that you should offer everything that you're doing for my benefit. And where he speaks very clearly that I should be the goal of all your actions. In 3.9, he has made an indirect reference when he says Yajnarthat Karmano Anyatra. Yajna Parush is Krishna himself, but he's not yet revealed that. So there is an indirect instruction to offer everything to him. 3.30 is, which is a summary verse of Karma Yoga, where he direct instruction that everything should be offered for him, offered to him. And now in this section of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will going to speak in little bit in more detail about himself, and we will soon find it out that the confidential knowledge, better than this knowledge, is confidential knowledge. So Krishna will start the speaking on chapter 7, where he closes chapter 6 by saying how bhakti yoga is supreme, how bhakti yogi is supreme. Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmanam shraddhavan bhajate yomam samyukta mamata. Anyone who is worshipping me with shraddha, with love, with loving faith, that yogi is ultimate, the best amongst all yogis. And he opens the seventh chapter, the first verse, again give reference to the faith aspect. And he says that he says that uh, मयि आसक्त मना पार्थ योगम युंजम मदाश्रयः. मयि आसक्त, that your mind, that he starts by direct reference to himself, and says that become attached to me, become my devotee without doubt, without take my shelter, and that you do it asamshayaha, without any doubt, do it wholeheartedly. And that this is how, so that's why this section of Bhagavad Gita is known as, 7th chapter especially, is confidential knowledge, which Krishna will speak, that is not really available in public domain. And the 9th chapter considered to be the most confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Rajaguhyam, it's called Rajaguhyam. It's the king of all mysteries, king of all mysteries. So Guhya is a gudha, is secret, and Rajaguhya is the king of all secrets, most confidential knowledge. So very beautiful flow of Bhagavad Gita. As we go higher and higher, we go deeper and deeper into learning of the philosophy. So very beautiful. Uh, Okay, knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. We spoke about this a little bit. Is the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken to free Arjuna from misery, shoka, shochan annu shochastvam. You should not lament for what is not worthy of lamenting. So it's not that lament. We should know what to lament for, what to cry for. We should cry if we are not able to remember Krishna constantly. We should cry if we are not able to chant his name properly. If we should cry if we have no rati, no ruchi in hearing Krishna Katha of Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Chatamrit. We should cry if we don't like getting instructions from Krishna in form of Bhagavad Gita. We should cry if we have no desire to visit temple and take darshan of beautiful form of Lord Shri Krishna. If we should cry if we are unable to have any aspiration to talk to devotees and share with them about our life, and talk to them about our problems and seek their guidance in our life. This intervention by devotee is necessary for my progress in bhakti. We should cry for all of that. We should cry if we still have temptations of this material world, which we were indulging before becoming aware that we are spirit soul and we have a duty to do in the limited lifespan that we are given. We should cry for all of that, not cry for material things. We should know what to cry for. We should cry for things which are worthy of crying. So the first verse is Krishna is Arjuna is becoming depressed, lamenting, distress condition, is experiencing anxiety for the loss of bodies of his relatives, those bodies which anyway cannot be saved, which are temporarily being allotted to those living entities, to those jivas, to those souls, and which will anyway go. Nobody is going to retain their body permanently, and and eventually that body will be lost. And Arjuna's distress, that therefore Krishna says, what is not worthy of lamentation? The body is not worthy of lamentation. If body, the soul does not have attachment to Krishna, that subject matter is worthy of lamentation. So we should know what to cry for, what to lament for. Krishna says that we are eternal spiritual being. We are aliens in this material world. We don't get mixed with this material world properly. We don't belong to this material world. We are foreigners in this material world. And material world is temporary. We are eternal. All our desires is to take us towards eternity. When this world, nothing is eternal, from where do we get desire for eternity? It's like if a child, small child living in the jungles of Africa, where they practically live like animals, if he tell his mother, mother, I want to eat pizza, mother is astonished. Mother is surprised. Mother doesn't know from where you got the desire of eating pizza. Because in this pizza, they kill animal and they eat. They have not seen pizza outlet. There's not been any pizza outlet. They have nobody in this whole community has ever seen pizza. So why, from where did you got to hear about this word pizza? What does it mean? What does it look like? Is it also a name of an animal? So mother is asking all these questions to the child because this is a this is a foreign concept for her. Nothing in the nearby vicinity uh, knows anything about pizza. But if this child had lived life in America in his previous birth, and he remembered having eating pizza while he was in his previous body, while he lived in America. Now he's trying to ask for the pizza in in this new body also. So, because we belong to the spiritual world and we have experienced eternity in the spiritual world, in this world also we are trying to search for that same eternity. We want our loved ones to live with us forever. We want our spouse, the boy and girl, when they fall in love with each other, they say we will stay together forever, and they lived happily ever after. All movies end with this kind of a slide. So, and they lived happily ever after. This ever after doesn't exist in this world, but it exists in our consciousness because soul is eternal. So soul expect everything that it connects with is eternal, should be eternal. So the education soul wants that to be eternal. The material bank balance that it's possess, he want that to be eternal. The relatives, the spouses, the children and the parents that he has, he want all of them to be eternal. His wealth should be eternal, his enjoyment should be eternal, his entertainment should be eternal. And he, that's what he's searching for, right thing at wrong place. He's searching for eternity in material world, which is temporary. And therefore, it's not a matter of surprise that he experience misery and lamentation from time to time. He expect eternal success, but he gets a failure. He expects eternal love, but he experiences betrayal, and so on and so forth. So in this world, everything is opposite. Everything is opposite. Therefore, he's the jiva when he invests his potencies in searching for wrong, searching for right things at wrong places, he gets lamentation, he get depression, he get distress, and he experiences anxiety. So this is why this is where we are, and this is so if you happen to be in foreign land, you should know how to act in that land and how not to get caught in that land. Nobody wants to go to America and go to the jails in America and experience the life in jails of America. Nobody would want to do that. So we but we when we come to this foreign land, we should know how to act in this land. So our actions for self enjoyment or self pleasure are going to produce a result or karma phala, which is going to bind us in this world. And what is this bondage? We all get bound in the cycle of repeated birth and death, suffering, accepting are forcibly given one body after another to enjoy or suffer the available fruits of our karma. Actions, in contrast to this, if we perform actions as per Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita as an offering to him, as suggested in 3.30 and 3.9, then those actions do not produce a karma phala, and it in fact help us delete or extinguish our previous accumulated fruits also. Since we are in foreign land, we must follow this rule prescribed for foreigners. And because we are on foreign territory, nothing, and in this place, nothing belongs to us. We are expected to perform the cycle of sacrifice. uh, so this chakra, the cycle of sacrifice, is expected to be followed by all the living entities, especially in human bodies. An animal is not expected to offer sacrifice, giving thanking demigods or god for giving him food. A tiger doesn't have to do that. A tiger can kill animal and directly start eating without offering, but human beings are expected to offer. Why? Because they get what they get by the mercy of the demigods who are working under the instructions of Supreme Lord. So therefore, it is their duty when I'll come to your home, it will be my duty to act while I'm in your home. I'll be expected to act according to your instructions, the rules of your home, whatever those rules might be. But so long as I'm inside your home, I'm not supposed to take control of your home. I cannot take control of your home. I should be, it will be nice if I will ask you for permission before taking anything. Even if you have allowed me, I will be, you will feel happy if you, while taking things from your home, I will be good enough to seek your permission. I want this, and I'm taking this. I hope you don't mind. Even if I say this much, you will feel nice because I'm a guest in your home, and this is how a simple etiquette is expected to be demonstrated by the living entities, especially human beings. But we don't do that. Most humans will not do that, and therefore this cycle of sacrifice is broken. uh, Krishna gives example. Uh, when you will say, what should I offer? Krishna says food is what you will eat twice a day, every day, minimum, and that you should offer, because you cannot produce the grains which you are consuming are produced by rains, which happens by my instruction. The earth in which the grains are grown, that earth is provided by me. The air, the sunlight, the everything is provided by me. The seed is provided by me. The potency in the seed to convert that seed into plant is given by me. and by my grace rain will come. By my grace only you will get the crop which you will be able to consume. You will be able to fruit that you will be able to consume. So everything that your whole survival depends upon me. If you start taking things without my permission, you will be considered as a thief and a society. And if you eat anything without my permission, it's called sinful eating. So a society of sinful thieves cannot be happy. Act of sacrifice implies self-regulation, self-control, which we should embrace, we should happily accept for our own benefit. Dharmic activities, dharmic activities better than all of that are paradharma or devotional service. Devotional service is also performed at two levels, one for self purification and one for pleasure, Krishna's pleasure. This is the highest form of devotional service. Gopis fight with Krishna because Krishna likes it that way. Gopis are prepared to go to hell and rot there perpetually if the dust of their feet can relieve Krishna of his headache even for a small moment. Even small moment, if Krishna's headache can be relieved, then as a result of that, Gopi says, we are ready to go to hell and rot there perpetually, be there perpetually. We don't care. But I cannot tolerate Krishna having headache and I'm not able to do anything to for curing him. So 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 gopis. So this is performing actions only for the pleasure of Krishna. This is the highest form of devotional service. Uh, Lower than that is acting according to the instructions given by Bhagavad Gita and under the guidance of Guru and devotees. So these activities help us purify our consciousness. So this is called devotional service. We'll look at some of the verses from this beautiful chapter. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam प्रोक्तवान हम अव्ययम विवस्वान मनवे प्राह मुनिर ishwakave bravit. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ishwaku. So what is happening? The parampara. It's a parampara. One generation is passing on knowledge to the other generation, and that is called parampara or called disciplic succession. Krishna clarifies this in the next verse 4.2. Evam parampara praptim imam rajar shayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. O Parantap, this supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in the course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. So continuously, Yogo, Prabhupada is translating this Yogo Nashtaha Prantapa as a science. Prabhupada is translating that word Yogo as a science. And we will he'll use the same theme in the next verse also, where again the yoga is translated as science. Krishna is saying that sa evayam maya tedya yogoh proktah puratanaha bhakto si me sakha cheti rahasyam yo etada uttamam. This science, that very ancient science of the now what kind of a science this is, that is referred to in 2 and 3. Krishna says, Prabhupada says that science is that of relationship with the Supreme. Now here Yogo Proktaha Puratana. Sa evayam mayatedya. Now here, previous was the yoga was translated as science, and in this verse, this was Krishna is giving a reference to that science which was referred to him, which was explained by him in the second verse. That science is is the science that of the relationship with the Supreme. Yogo Prokta Puratana, ancient science. This is not freshly concocted knowledge. This is not something which I thought um, to give you response in as you surrendered. I have to speak something, so I'm just manufacturing my own thought and I'm giving you this knowledge on the spot. No, this is old knowledge. This is ancient science. This is Puratan science. And this always existed. It's not that I'm manufacturing it now, but I'm giving you now. Why? Because you are Bhakta Sime Sakha Cheti. You are my Bhakta and you are my Sakha. I'm Bhakta, so you're non-envious to me and you're loving, you're basically, you don't envy me, you're not envious of me, which means you love me, and you're surrender to me. You're bhaktosi mein, bhakta implies that you're not envious of me and you're loving, you're in love with me, and sakha implies that you're in relationship with me. We have a bond, we have a bond of friendship, we are bound, we are related with each other in the rasa, sakhya rasa. So you are my friend, and therefore you can understand this transcendental mystery of the science. This rahasya is not ordinary knowledge which any by which we can apply, which we can understand by little bit application of our mind. This is not some mathematical calculus formula that we can crack if we stretch our imagination a little bit deeper. But this is mystery, rahasya. Here, and what kind of a rahasya? This is Uttamam. Uttamam, the transcendental rahasya, the transcendental mystery of this science can be understood by you. Arjuna Vacha, Aparam Bhavato Janma, Param Janma Vivasvataha, Katham Etam, Katham Etad Vijay, Katham Etad Vijaniyam, Tvamadau Proktavaniti, Tam Adau Proktavaniti. Arjuna is asking a question here, and this is the very significant teaching. So significant teaching. Arjuna is saying, asking a question that you're saying you gave this knowledge to Sun God, O Krishna, but Sun God Vivasvan is senior by birth to you, and me, because Arjuna and Krishna were of almost same age. So Arjuna is saying the sun god Vivasvan is senior to you by birth, is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? Now, Arjuna's question is is very beautiful, very carefully worded. He doesn't say he's asking, he's not doubting Krishna's claim that he gave these instructions to sun god at the beginning of the creation. He's not doubting it, but he's asking a question that, please explain me, how am I to understand that you did this? So it's not that it cannot be done. It's the reality is Krishna is Arjuna is not saying that this cannot be, this is impossible, this is all fake. Kya bakwas hai? He's not saying that. He's saying uh, how am I to understand this? How am I to understand this? So he's accepting whatever Krishna is saying to be true, but given his own knowledge, given his own condition, he says, I'm unable to make sense out of it. So help me make sense of it. Help me understand it better. So take me deeper into this concept and help me understand this concept. So he is not doubting or Krishna's word, but he wants more clarification so that he can understand Krishna's words properly. Now, there's a lesson for all of us. Not that everything that we hear with regard to Bhagavad Gita can be very clear to us. Uh, it can be, but it may not be. At times, because of our own limitations, we all are connecting on Zoom. We are not face to face sitting. So there could be many impediments. And Zoom means you are sitting in your home. Your home can be filled with distractions. There could be spouses could be shouting at you, asking you to order something from the market, get something from the market. Must be children must be making noises. Neighbors must be pushing your doorbells. Society people must be calling for some society meeting. Your friends must be asking you if you are ready to come and play, or go out with them, hang out with them. This is the only day that you get, and so on and so forth. So you might be getting pulled from different directions, and hence it's possible that you may not be able to follow everything as accurately as you are supposed to, or just you must be wanting to. But so what should we do? Should we just ignore? जो मिला वो मिला, समझा वो समझा, नहीं समझा वो देख लेंगे अगले जन्म में. Well, that can be one approach, but better approach can be ask clarifications. Read through the slides which comes after the class. Go through the recording which I'll post after the class. And whatever is not clear, whatever I have not understood during the class, whatever clarifications I'm not able to get after reading the slides, and after listening to the recording also, I clarify. I seek clarifications from people, from devotees, or from me for that matter. So this instructions makes it this questioning becomes makes the learning experience richer, and that is essential. That's why we always have a question and answer session towards the end of our session. And at times, we spend close to 1 hour in answering doubts of raised by different devotees. And the reason for that is basically we become extremely happy that somebody is trying to apply the knowledge to their real life situation and come up with questions, come up with meaningful questions. Who's what was the name? Who used to live? Who was the next door? What was the name of the person who used to live next to Sudama's house? Can be a very great question, but it's irrelevant. Why? Because in the story of Sudama, we don't learn about Sudama's neighborhood, from where he must have sourced that cheap rouse which he offered to Krishna. uh, Sudama's uh, Sudama Sudama story basically help us understand that how we can love Krishna uh, despite of not being in very comfortable position materially, be it in terms of family life, be it in terms of opulence, be it in terms of even available food grains at home to feed himself and his such family members. Despite of all of those difficulties that one may experience in life, one's love should for Krishna should never diminish, and that is the learning that we get from Sudama pastime. Not knowing Sudama's neighbor's name does not help, does not in any way affect us in getting our right lessons. So what we should ask is also has to be in consistency with what is being discussed and what is the essence of it. Ultimately, we should be interested in what's in it for me and how I can benefit. And my ultimate benefit is when I can say, like Arjuna, Nashto Moha Smrutir Labdhva Tvat Prasadan Maya Achyuta Sthitosmi Gate Sandeha Karshye Vachanam Tava. When I will be able to say this to Krishna, that I whatever you want, I will do, O Lord. I have no independence. As Prahlad Maharaj says, I have no independence. Eternally I've been your loving servant, and eternally you have been my loving master. And so I have no independence. So that way, um, so that is how we should question. We should ask questions, and it's always helpful for our own progress, our own benefit. Prabhupada write in the purport that Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord. So how could he not believe in Krishna's words? So Prabhupada explains further that both Krishna and Arjuna were of same age. Hence this question. The mood is not to doubt, but it's a genuine inquiry. A logical question must be given a logical answer. Therefore, at times we spend lot of time in answering right questions asked at the end of the class. So, and that's how we grow. In fact, all our scriptures are presented in form of question and answer. Like Bhagavad Gita is presented as form of question and answer. Srimad Bhagavatam, there are every devotee is asking question. Every devotee is seeking clarification. It's all starts with Shaunaka Rishi and Sutta Goswami conversation, goes on to progress to Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj conversation. In between comes Narad Muni Uddhav conversation, Narad Muni Maitreya Rishi conversation, Narad Muni Yudhishthir Maharaj conversation later, and so on and so forth. Each conversation leads to another conversation. When the question is asked, sometimes some previous conversation is replayed by the speaker, saying that a similar question was asked by so, and in response to that, so and so was provided, and then that conversation is relayed or replayed, and that is how the thought flow of a script of thought flow of a scripture develops, a thought flow of a philosophy develops, and that philosophy, which is based on question and answers, can have is all is proper in all respects. It covers various aspects of the philosophy are covered. Various potential questions that can come from people who would learn this philosophy in future, those are already considered and answered in the philosophy, because it is based on question and answer. So at times, Parishit Maharaj asked a question that how Lord Krishna's activities are so bewildering. Why he did what he did, or he asked beginning of seventh chapter, why is God is fair to everyone. God is one of the quality of God is he's fair to everyone, and why is it then he always favors the devatas? So this was also a question asked to Krishna, and in response to that, Narsimha Katha was spoken, and to demonstrate that he because demigods always seek shelter from Krishna, it is quite logical that Krishna go and help them. And contrast to this, the demons never seek help from Krishna. They hate Krishna. They want to become one with Krishna. They want to become like Krishna. And as a result, they are not interested in asking for any help from Krishna. They believe Krishna can give no help to them. And therefore, they suffer perpetually in this material world. So, this is the mood of asking question. And such questions ask help us grow in our bhakti. 3.31 Krishna recommends faith, but doesn't mean it's a blind faith. It's a the question, not asking question doesn't mean you have no faith. It helps you deepen your faith, and therefore such questions are always encouraged. Therefore, to clarify this point, uh, Arjuna put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively about himself. Krishna can speak authoritatively about himself. A devotee, Prabhupada writes, the purport, a devotee of Krishna like Arjuna is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Arjuna's putting this question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the Lord, by the devotee to defy the atheistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being, subject to the modes of material nature. Purport to verse 4.4 by Srila Prabhupada. Taking this opportunity, Krishna take time to reveal himself more in this chapter and in the next few verses. What is happening in response to this question? Now Krishna is going to reveal about himself a little bit more. So he's been very reserved in speaking about himself, but this this particular line of question and answer by the sages by Arjuna is now going to induce him to speak more about himself. And that is what is going to come next. Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava Arjuna tanya aham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani cha tava Arjuna. Bahuni me vyatitani. Bhagavan Uvacha. Krishna is saying, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. Now, Parantapa is subduer of the enemy. Now, Krishna is referring to Arjuna as a great man. He's identifying, acknowledging Arjuna's greatness in terms of warrior. As a warrior, how great a warrior that you are, that is well known. That is, everybody knows that. Oh, Parantapa, by referring to him with that name, which glorifies his achievements on the battlefield, Krishna is saying that you are a great man. However, you cannot remember all your births. You cannot remember. But Krishna says, I can remember. I and you, we have taken many births together, and I can remember all of them. But you, despite of you being such a great personality by your own self, you cannot remember any of that. So this puts things in perspective. No matter how great a human being you may become, you will never be able to be equal to or greater than God. So you'll always be subordinate to the God, to God. And hence you should always not mind surrendering to God. You should not always mind serving your superior authority in that way. So that is the clear message that comes out of this beautiful description. Parantapo, you are glorified. Arjuna is being glorified, but he's also reminded that your glories are temporary, while my glories are eternal. Why? Because I can do things which you even cannot think of doing. Okay, so in the purport Prabhupada write that in the Brahma Samhita we have information of many incarnations of Lord. It is stated that Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. What is it that is being said by Lord Brahmaji? He is saying that I worship the supreme personality of Godhead Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person. Uh, who is uh, the original who is the original person, absolute infallible, and absolute infallible without beginning. Although although expanded into unlimited form, he is still the same original and the oldest, and the person always appearing as fresh youth. Such eternal blissful uh, all-knowing form of the Lord are usually not understood by even the best of Vedic scholars, but they are always manifested to pure unalloyed devotees. So, a lot of things are spoken in this verse uh, that 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 the Krishna can be understood by his pure devotees. So it is reiterate the point that Krishna is making in the Bhagavad Gita also, that I cannot be understood by based on material expertise. You might be possessing 100 degrees in the material world, but you cannot understand my mysteries because you don't have my kripa. You can understand it only by Krishna kripa. And therefore, uh, Krishna is that is the nature of the uh, that is the nature of the knowledge about Krishna. Devotees like Arjuna, Prabhupada write in the Purport, devotees like Arjuna are constant companions of the Lord, and wherever the Lord incarnates, associate devotees also incarnate in order to serve the Lord in different capacities. It's not that Lord wants to be served, but devotees can't do anything else than serving Lord. Devotees are always looking for opportunities to serve Lord. Prabhupada will write in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita that there is a sweet exchange of loving service that's going on between Lord and his devotees, wherein wherein the Lord always is eager to serve his devotee, and his devotees are always eager to serve his their lordships, and this sweet exchange is perpetually going on. Prabhupada, right? That devotees, they are constant companions of the Lord, and wherever Lord incarnates, they devotees they also incarnates to serve Him in different capacities. Arjuna is one of those devotees, and in this verse, it is understood that some millions of years ago, when Lord spoke this Bhagavad Gita to God Vivaswan, Arjuna, in a different capacity, was also present. Okay, but the difference between the Lord and Arjuna is that Lord can remember the incident, whereas Arjuna could not remember. That is the difference between part and parcel living entity and the Supreme Lord. Although Arjuna is addressed herein as a mighty hero who could subdue the enemies, he is unable to recall what had happened in his previous past births. Therefore, a living entity, however great he may be in the material estimation, can never become equal to the Supreme Lord. The Lord is described in the Brahma Samhita as infallible, Achyuta, which means that he never forgets himself, even though he is in the material contact. Therefore, the Lord and the living entity can never be equal in all respects, even if the living entity is as liberated as Arjuna. Although Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord, he sometimes forget the nature of the Lord. But by by the divine grace of a devotee, can at by divine grace a devotee can at once understand the infallible condition of the Lord, whereas a non-devotee or a demon cannot understand this transcendental nature. Consequently, these descriptions uh, in the Gita cannot be understood by demons or people with demoniac mentality or demoniac brains. Lord remembers because he does not change his Satchidananda body. He is Advaita, which means there is no difference between his body and himself. Um, Everything in relation to him is spiritual, spirit. Therefore, whereas conditioned soul is different from his material body. Everything in relation to the supreme is spirit. His body is spirit. His mind is spiritual. Everything is spirit. He does not have anything material, uh, and hence only he can remember. Uh, okay, so whereas the conditioned soul is different from his material body, and therefore when, while the changing of the body happens, it affects the memories of the previous life and erases the memories of all the previous life, uh, keep them in they're erased from the front end but not erased completely from the back end. So they go deeper into the storage of our mind, but potentially can be retrieved if need be. So to that extent, they're not they're not completely gone, but they remain inaccessible on the surface at least. So so next verse. अजोपि सन अव्ययात्मा भूतानाम ईश्वरोपि सन प्रकृतिम स्वाम अधिष्ठाय संभवाम आत्ममायया. Now, Krishna is saying that in the previous verse, Krishna says that uh, when Arjuna asked him about this question, that how am I to understand that you spoke this knowledge to sun god, how I am supposed to understand, how generations which will come after me who will study and read this scripture, how are they supposed to understand? So if there is something more about you that you have so far not told me, please let me know. And so that is the request, Arjuna is putting forward. So he's requesting on our behalf. Arjuna's request is more for clarifying on our behalf, so that the people in Kali Yuga, when they will read Bhagavad Gita, this can be a question that can naturally come to their mind as well. That it said that Krishna and Arjuna were about 125 years of 125 years of age, and sun god is Prachin, so he existed ever since this universe came into force. And so it's been there for many years. So how is it possible um, that Krishna would have given this knowledge to Arjuna, to the Vivasvan, the sun god? And hence, Arjuna take this opportunity, ask these clarifications, so that people in general in future will not get that same question, or even if they get that question, they have answer readily given by Krishna in the sixth verse, fifth and sixth verse. So that is where we are, and the so the bahuni me vyatitani. He's saying you think you and I are on the same level. That's not the case. I'm much higher than yours. I'm at a much higher level than you are. And the one example Krishna gives is that you cannot remember all your past births, but I can remember. No matter which body we may go to, Krishna will come with us, and he'll stay with us. He'll also while you enjoy, while you suffer, Krishna remains as Paramatma in our heart. Okay. so uh, so uh, Krishna is now going to explain this concept further, so that ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavam atma mayaya. Now, how do I appear? How do I appear? Now that is also a mystery, because in case of Krishna, everything is mysterious. Whatever uh, rule that we follow, we have to be we have to enter the womb of a mother through semen. This is called Maithuna Jagat. Maithuna Kriya, through Maithuna Kriya, the semen gets generated, and when that semen gets enters the womb of a woman, along with that, a soul is pushed helplessly. A soul does not have capacity to say no, while if he's getting pushed inside the womb of a mother who is begging on the road, he has no capacity to say no. A soul is extremely helpless. Even if it's going to, from human birth, the soul is going to get pushed into a dog's or a cat's body for their next birth. A soul cannot say no. A soul cannot say that maybe I was a much I was I was a human being in my previous birth. How can I go down? How can I become a pig in my next birth? I cannot. You should not make me pig. He has no capacity to choose what he becomes. And that's completely driven by the will of the Lord, by the law of karma. So so this is how the journey of the soul uh, continues, birth after birth. And well, uh, Krishna, everything. about Krishna is opposite. Krishna is not does not have to take birth through the semen of his father. Krishna appears in the heart, and from there he enters the womb. Krishna do it by his own choice. Uh, Krishna uh, Krishna chooses his parents. Unlike unlike in the material world, we are all forced into the womb of a mother, and we just come to know who our parents are. And if they are in a 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, or a palatial home, or they are living on the streets under a tree, municipality being paid, being given my first bath by the municipality water, which is coming out of a broken pipe in some slum neighborhood. Where am I going to go? I have no choice. Anything can be my next destination. I can become son and daughter of a pig. Um, Suddenly find all the dirt very transcendentally blissful. And we so in case of Krishna, everything is opposite. We can't choose our parents. Krishna can choose his parent. We are forced to appear. Krishna chooses to appear, and so Krishna comes in his original form. So whenever he appears as Lord Krishna, that's his original form. And there Krishna chooses his parent, chooses the time when he has to come, chooses the uh, chooses the situation when he should come, chooses the activities that he should perform after his appearance. He chooses who should become his associates in this pastime. He chooses what will other people do during his pastime, and so on and so forth. So everything is set. The stage is set, and then the Krishna arrives. For us, we arrive and then we try to figure out how things are in this material world. So we are the opposite of how Krishna is. So we are not even closer to be equal to Krishna. Not even close. And we cannot become that close where we will be able to figure out everything about Krishna. So, Ajopi, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, San Avyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropi San. Uh, I'm the Lord of all living entities. I still appear. I still Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya Sambhavam Atmamaya. I appear. I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form of two hands. So two-hand form is of Krishna is considered to be the original form of Krishna. Prabhupada writes in the purport that the Lord has spoken about the peculiarity of his birth. Although he may appear like an ordinary person, he remembers everything of his many past life brains. Therefore a common man cannot uh, therefore a common man cannot remember, whereas in contrast Prabhupada giving that, whereas a common man cannot remember what he did, what he has done few hours before also. If someone is asked what he did exactly at the same time one day earlier, it would be very difficult for a common man um, to answer immediately. He uh, okay he would surely have to dredge his memory to recall what he was doing exactly at the same time one day before. Yet yet man often dare claim to be God or Krishna. One should not be misled by such meaningless claims. So anybody who claims to be Krishna or claims to be God, one should not pay much attention to them, because they are not gods. They can't remember what they did few hours back. whereas Krishna can remember everything, each and every birth that he has taken. So these are some of the criterias that we can use in order to reject claim by people that they are God. And there are many such gods that we see in the society popping up from time to time. Prabhupada writes further that then again the Lord explains his prakriti or his form. Prakriti means nature, as well as swarupa means one's own form. The Lord says that he appears in his own body. He does not change his body as the common living entity does. Changes from one body to another body. The conditioned soul may have one kind of body in the present birth, but he has a different body in the next birth. In the material world, the living entity has no fixed body, but transmigrate from one body to another body. The Lord, however, does not do so. In other words, Krishna appears in this material world in his original eternal form. With two hands holding a flute, he appears exactly in his eternal body, uncontaminated by his material nature. Although he appears although he appears in the same transcendental body and transcendental body and is Lord of the universe, it still appears that he takes his birth like an ordinary living entity. And although his body does not deteriorate like material body, it still appears that Lord Krishna grow from childhood to boyhood and boyhood to youth. But astonishingly enough, he never ages beyond youth. At the time of the battle of Kurukshetra, he had many he had many grandchildren at home, or in other words, he had sufficiently aged by material calculations. Still, he looked just like a young man, 20 or 25 years old. We never see a picture of Krishna in old age because he never grows old like us. Although he is the oldest person in the whole creation, past, present, and future. Neither his body nor his intelligence ever deteriorates or changes. Example, Prabhat gives there subsequently an example that how sun is fixed, but due to our defective hand senses, it appears as if uh, it appears as if sun is appearing and disappearing from our eyesight. Now it's not that sun is going anywhere, sun is fixed at one place, but because of our defective senses, because of um our defects, we assume as if it is sun is rising and sun is setting, but sun is that similarly Krishna, they said that Krishna may appear and may disappear at his own will, and but because of our own defectiveness, we will perceive him to have taken birth and perceive that he is now living up his body. Prabhupada write further that living entity, soul and Lord both have features of ajo and unborn or imperishable. However, Lord is Ishvara of all living entities. That is the difference. He manifests in his original form, Prakriti's form. A king may visit a jail, is not bound by the rules of the jail, which are mandatory for all the prisoners. Okay, a king may visit jail, but is not bound by the jail. A king will have just like in every kingdom, a king may create a jail facility. Not that he wants that facility to be utilized. He wants all his citizens to follow all the rules and regulations, and not break any rules and regulation. But if at all someone chooses by his free will chooses to break the rules and regulation, then according to the severity of his offense, he can be given punishment, and his for as a result of that punishment he might go to jail. Now, jail is not something that is desirable for from a king's point of view. King doesn't say that, oh, I've created a jail, built a jail with capacity of taking care of 100 prisoners at a time, and which is underutilized. And as we only have about 10 prisoners there, so I'm incurring a lot of loss. So that's that one way it's true, but another way it's not true. A king never desires his citizens to break law and go to jail because he wants all his citizens to follow the law. But those who have gone to the jail, who are already suffering in the jail, king is having a soft heart towards them as well. King wants them to take up the process of reformation and ultimately come out of the jail. Come get out of that jail. Don't rot there perpetually. Don't remain there permanently. And therefore, he personally sometimes may come to the jail. Personally, may sometimes come to the jail, and he may inspect, he may participate in some of the activity, but but he's not, as long as he's inside the jail, he is not bound by the rules of the jail. At his own will, by his own sweet will, he may sometimes choose to follow some of the rules. For example, there could be in jail morning time, there could be some prarthana, some prayer meeting that may happen, wherein all the jailer, all the all the prisoners will be asked to attend the prayer meeting, and a king or prime minister may choose to attend that along with all the jailers, all the prisoners. But same time, after some time, the prisoners are sent to their respective task. Somebody is asked to do some digging, so some more digging and this and that. Now, just because the king is present inside the jail, uh, the rule to work does not apply to him because of his unique position. So anyone thinks that because I am in jail and king is also in jail, therefore we both are equal, is fool, is a foolish person. And also, because king is choosing to participate in some of the activities, king should, as long as he's there inside the jail, he should be forced to participate in all the activities. Anybody who think like that is also a foolish person, because they don't properly understand the nature of the position of the king. And therefore they desire for king also to to behave just like them. They consider king to be at their equal level, which is a offense, which is a great mistake that they do. And hence, uh, they always remain bereft of all the benefits of bhakti. They cannot become devotees of Lord Krishna, and therefore um, they cannot benefit from the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. So to summarize, we discuss about the about the flow of Bhagavad Gita, the flow of knowledge that is shared in Bhagavad Gita, how chapter 2 becomes a knowledge section of Bhagavad Gita, how chapter 4 becomes a transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, how chapter 7 becomes the confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and how chapter 9 becomes the most confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. How uh, chapter chapter 4, how Krishna chooses to reveal about himself in the Bhagavad Gita. We can know about great persons only if when they choose to reveal their information to us. Otherwise, we will only get to know what is available in public domain, and that may not be all. That may not be the entire complete information. But if a person choose to reveal some information about himself, the great man, when they choose to reveal information about themselves. That is how people at large learn about them. This information might be available already with their close loved ones, near and dear ones, but publicly that becomes available only when they chooses to reveal. And we, as long as are not, we are at the moment, we are not very, we are not amongst those who are beloved to the Lord, who are in closely intimately connected with Lord. We may not be at our current junction, at our current state in the stage in the process of bhakti. So hence we will hence we will not be able to understand Lord fully. We will be able to understand Lord only to the extent that He chooses to reveal Himself to us, and therefore His revelations are important. So Krishna chooses to reveal Himself, and that revelation, those revelations have come, are there in the various places of Bhagavad Gita, little bit in chapter 2, little bit in chapter 3, and in this first 10, 11 verses of chapter 4, where Krishna reveals more about himself. We go take his knowledge about himself deeper, so that people, jivas, living entities, can become encouraged, encouraged to know more about Krishna, encouraged to become his devotees. Um, so that's what we discuss in the chapter 4, chapter 7, chapter 9, and then chapter 4 we did a deep dive in discussing various verses from 1 to 6. The 7 and 8 verse are famous verses. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam uh, and so on and so forth. Uh, so dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Uh, then the ninth verse is considered to be the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti. So Arjuna, and Krishna directly tells that, and we'll discuss these verses. Directly tells that if you learn in tattva, if you get to know in tattva the about the birth and activities of Lord Krishna, of my activities, then you will not have to take birth again in this material world. So various ways in which Krishna is going to reveal a deeper and deeper knowledge about himself in the coming verses. So knowledge, now this knowledge is is um, is given to the king. And why? Because the kings are the natural leaders of the society. Yad yad achariti shreshthas tat tat evetaro jana. Natural common people wants to follow their great personalities like king, and therefore this knowledge is given to the king so that they can follow it, they can demonstrate it in their life, and looking them implement these teachings, the common people also try to follow the path. Knowledge should be received in disciplic succession. You should not manufacture knowledge. This nobody can manufacture any knowledge. Only knowledge, the source of knowledge is Lord Krishna, and he's given all the knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, and hence we should hear this knowledge from devotees who are themselves trying to practice it. According live their life according to the instructions of Gita. While answering to Arjuna's question, Krishna reveals in brief about his own divine nature, which is much better, much higher than all the people present on the battlefield, because he can choose to appear, when to appear, how to appear. He does not change body, he can remember everything and everyone. Knowing his greatness about Lord Krishna, knowing this greatness about Lord Krishna, one should immediately accept him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and follow or practice, act according to his instructions given in the Bhagavad Gita for our own benefit, not by by fear, not out of fear, no, but for out of love, because these instructions also come out of love, and we, if we, it will be good if we can start following those instructions also out of our loving sentiment for Lord, not out of fear, not out of uh, being worried of what will I lose, what will happen to me if I don't, and so on and so on and so forth. That's uh, another way of doing things, but we can live according to the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, knowing they are best suited for my benefit. Knowing our own benefit, we should follow, we should practice those instructions. We'll take a little break for some questions and answer basis what we discussed so far.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Guruji, for the wonderful session. One question was there, Guruji, in the chat box. So should I read it now and or
Yes, Prabhuji, we can.
yes, Guruji. Brother, just check whether Asha Mataji. Yes, Mataji is there, Guruji. So should we ask Mataji to unmute and ask?
Yes, yes. Everybody can unmute and ask questions. Feel free to unmute and ask question.
Hare Krishna, Asha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. You have posted a question, so it will be better that if you ask, so that any other doubt or whatever clarification you are seeking from Guruji, that will be sure. Hare Krishna.
Okay, okay. Namaste, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
No, no, really, I don't know whether I am asked it or not. My question is how to spend your life, family, spend your time along with your family, Krishna consciousness, and then as a member of ISKCON member, how will you spend your time? There's
So,
a
yeah. Okay. So how to spend our time with our family
as
members? Yeah.
as you as a Guruji, as a if you have, now you are a Guruji to us, na?
Mhm.
Then how you can spend all these you are preaching or you are giving some work to the ISKCON, everything. So how will you spend your time? This is my honest question.
So it's my about how I spend my time specifically.
That's a preacher, as a
Okay, okay, sure, sure.
uh,
So yes,
ah,
yes, Mataji.
ah,
Okay. So so that's again a very nice question. So we spend time with our family just like all of you would also spend time with your family.
okay,
So typically the
okay, sir, okay, good.
activities, so generally activities done
Ah,
by devotees and non-devotees are prima facie not different. Like non-devotees
ah,
also will go to work, and because they will want to maintain their family members. Similarly,
yes, yes, of
devotees,
course.
as a devotee, even I go to work.
Mm,
Last week I was in Hyderabad.
okay.
Otherwise, I work in as a CFO in a company in Pune. Though some so more, and I live in Bombay. My family is in Bombay, so for every weekend I travel back to Mumbai on Thursday or Friday, and then try and spend as much time as possible with them. Sometimes I take them to Pune, or I stay at home, work from home, and try to give more time to them. So exactly like others do, given our limitations for the needs, taking care of what is needed to be done to be able to take care of the families. We as a devotee, it's not different. The difference comes in the consciousness that if I consider my family members to be the souls, are just like how I know I am a spirit soul, my family members who are also spirit soul, they are also children of Krishna. They are given in my custody right now. My wife is not my eternal wife. She's also Krishna's child. She's also property of Krishna. My children are property of Krishna. Now that is the real consciousness. And when I take care of my family, I don't claim to be the owner of my family members. My children were not my children in previous birth. In next birth also, they may not remain to be my children. So for a limited period, they I have their custody, just like a land. is always there. Land was always there when we took birth. Today I may own a piece of land, but which was always there.
mm,
I And after my death, that piece of land will not disappear from the face of the earth. It will continue to be there. Uh, I, Prior
yes,
to me, somebody else was owning that piece of land. After me,
mm,
somebody else may own it. That land is always going to be
yes,
there. Similarly, so my mood is should be that of a caretaker. Should be that of a
okay,
caretaker. So just like a cashier working in a bank, will take very great care of cash that he is counting every day, but he
yes,
know that
mm,
none of it
yes,
belongs
Krishna.
to him. So he, at the same time,
Mm,
as he's very diligent, he's very as we need to be, we can be very diligent and loving while taking care of all the needs of our family members there. And there are different needs. The needs are at physical level, they are at emotional level, mental level,
mm,
emotional level, spiritual level. So there is a hierarchy of needs also, and we need to provide for everything. If we just say that give food to eat and clothes to wear and a place to stay, well, that takes care of only one aspect of life. After this, emotionally, they will want to be loved. They will want to be found wanted in the home. They will want to be accepted, appreciated, they honored. Uh, you know, so those needs also
yes,
exist. So once the physical needs are
yes,
taken care of, the higher needs kick in, and then the ultimate need is the spiritual need. That even they are children of
yes,
Krishna. Even they are
mm,
wondering, the very fact that they are in the material world is because even they have been separated from Krishna. Just because if you are in jail and you need not ask, you know that the person in the next cell is also a criminal. You did some crime, therefore you landed up in jail, and it's not a
mm,
surprise for you that other people who are in jail in different cells are also criminals. It's not a matter of surprise. You
yes,
know that because they are criminal, they are here. Similarly, if these souls are wandering in this material world, they have taken
mm,
birth, it's not a surprise for us to know that they are also criminals in some form. They have not been, it's not that they came from spiritual world just to become my children. They are not Krishna. So, so then my ultimate responsibility is to give them spiritual knowledge, to connect them
yes,
with Krishna in some form, shape, and manner, by feeding them with Krishna Prasad, by exposing them to Krishna consciousness philosophy, by taking them to the temples, by helping them participate in various activities connected with Krishna, by giving them devotee association, and various ways in which possible I can connect them with Krishna. I can bring Krishna into their life, and that is why
definitely.
that is one way of taking best care of my own family
Yes,
members
that's
responsibility.
it.
So this is what is done, attempted to be done by us. Not that always we claim to be successful in doing all of that, but
Mm,
this is how our mood is after learning the principles which are taught in Bhagavad Gita. That is, this is now our mood, and that's expanded to everyone. My spouse, my wife, my parents, my everyone. Now, some of them are favorable. That my children, I can control a
okay,
little bit. When they were small,
yes.
I can just pick them up and take them to temple. They
Mm,
can't really resist. But my parents will not do that. My in-laws will not do that. They have their own brought up, their own uh,
yes, yes,
conceptions of life, which have become fixed over so many years, and they are not so flexible. They're not so easy to change. So while I can do some things with my children, it will be extremely difficult for me to do
fine.
the same things with my elders and my others,
Yes,
my friends, with whom I would have
yes,
gone to college, did many colorful activities. Now, because I'm trying to learn Bhagavad Gita, they may appreciate it, but they may not always
mm,
want to follow it. So, with limited capacity, we have limited options, we have limited control over things and things in life. So we may get impressed, we may become very excited, we may become very we may start following something, we may adapt ourselves, model ourselves to the way of life, a particular way of life that inspire us. But others, and seeing us, others may also feel inspired. It's not that they will not, but if they are, for some reason they are not, then we can't really control them. But there we need to be
Yes.
smart. We need to at least feed them Krishna Prasad, which people will not say no. So that way, one way or the other, somehow connect them with Krishna, and practice our own bhakti nicely, and try and give Krishna to as many people as we can in the course of our life, including starting with our spouse and children and parents and this and that. So that's how devotee try
Yes,
to
Prabhu.
live their life, and we are also trying to do that, looking at examples of other devotees.
Yes. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thanks for nice question. Yes, Amit Prabhuji, if you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible, Prabhuji? Thank
Yes,
you very
Prabhuji.
much for this inspiring lecture, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is that at various verses in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that a devotee never perishes, and Lord
ନାଇଁ
also
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ,
says,
ଏଇଟା ଆମର ରଖିଛି, ଏଇଟା ଦିଅ।
some disturbance in the slide.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll
Prabhuji,
continue.
continue.
Yeah, like in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji, Lord Krishna says it very conspicuously that my devotee never perishes, my devotee will never be vanquished, and Ma Suche, that do not fear, do not lament. And these inspiring words are spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So while we are implementing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in a real life, at times we meet situations or sometimes we meet people who are very difficult to handle at times and do create problem for us also sometime maybe in the place where we are staying or maybe sometime in professional culture where we are working. So in this situation, why do we as a practicing devotee get either anxious about the situation, or we develop an anxiety, or we are afraid of such situations or people in general when we are dealing with these type of people? So what is the reason? Is it that we as a practicing devotee are not able to really implement the teachings of Bhagavad Gita due to which his anxiety comes up? Is it due to the inner weakness itself, or is it that there is some other understanding, other way of dealing with such situation? That is my question, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So when Krishna says, "I will protect," uh, what does it? And we see that we get exposed many times to different situations where we see that protection not being there, or it's not coming. Then is Krishna right or we are right? What's the situation? And we can give practical examples of we people sometimes come and cheat us uh, in business. People sometimes betray us in love. People sometimes can make false promises, and we now all what we are trying to do is lead a steady life, so that we can practice bhakti nicely. But so many ways and means, so because of so many things, something or the other can keep going wrong in our life. Sometimes health go down, sometimes finances go down, sometimes relationship goes down, sometimes war happens in the country out of nowhere, and so on and so forth. So there are so many disturbances which keep popping up, and it seems sometimes I may have little control over them, but many times I practically have no control over them. I done always good to that person, but that person came and betray me. He practically पीठ में छुरा लगा दिया उसने. And that kind of a thing he did. What inspired him to do that? Why did he do that? So uh, we see that practically for no fault of ours, we get caught up into so many difficulties, so many problems, and different fronts, not just in parallel. Sometimes everything is going on. Uh, So when we get caught up in solving one problem after another, and sometimes we forget that we are a devotee of Krishna. So if Krishna really says that he protect us, he takes care of our difficulties, why does he allow those difficulties first of all to come over us, and why he don't fadafat solve them? Fadafat solve them, take care of it. Even if it comes, okay, tuck, 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 karke, fadafat, why is not able to solve them faster? Why it takes some prolonged time to resolve? And I loan I take, and I struggle for years to repay that loan. Some court disputes happen when I'm right, but the court dispute may get dragged for years. So I may not get any resolution. I may not get any peace of mind. I may not be able to sleep at night. So much difficulties. How do we reconcile what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita and what actually happens in our life? So when Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it's a both. It's a question of how what he's saying and how we are understanding. In case of Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna uh, we see that the protection came in the physical form. Um, but even though that is the only the side effect of it, Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj always remembered Krishna and saw everything in connection with Krishna. When he was fed with poison, he was seeing that poison and remembering Krishna, and seeing, making, and singing glories of Krishna, thinking how glorious Krishna is. When he was being thrown under the feet of an elephant, he was able to see Krishna in the heart of that elephant. So he never missed seeing Krishna everywhere. And because he saw Krishna, he remained protected. He was protected uh, even before that elephant could come close to him. Why? Because he was always seeing Krishna in that, as a part of that elephant. In the heart of that elephant, he was always seeing Krishna. So his protection happened much before his body came out of that difficult situation properly. So his physical protection is a side effect of his mental consciousness. Now we are not able to, at our level, we are not able to remember Krishna in that way. We are not able to see everything in connection with Krishna the way it was seen by Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore, we see when things don't go right at physical level, we do get disturbed. Uh, and this is precisely the correction that we need to make in our life. And then so so this so the remembrance of Krishna, nobody can take away from us. Nobody can take. So our mind, nobody can take away from us. And in our mind, if we remember Krishna always, which means Krishna will always remain with us. So the spiritually, even the at times we see the devotees' bodies also get destroyed. Devotees also suffer from cancer. Devotees also suffer from long, prolonged illnesses.
Prabhuji, your sound is reduced a little bit.
Okay, okay. Is this better?
No.
It was
Still
better
low.
only, Prabhuji. Hopefully, network issue may be there at their end.
Might be. Okay,
Okay,
might
okay.
be. Might be. Okay.
So, is this better now, or how do you think?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what to
It's
do.
It, it is
If the
it is
sound
better
goes
all
down,
throughout.
yeah. Okay, okay, sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji. No problem.
Okay, Himanchal Prabhu, thank you so much. So, as I was saying that the Lord offers protection at a spiritual level, and that is always available to us if we choose to remember Krishna all situation in all the time. In the Bhagavatam, we see that wherever and whenever a devotee g- gets into a seemingly material difficult situation, closer he go to Krishna. more he remembers Krishna. Be it Gajendra pastime, when Gajendra was about, he fought battle with great force for years, but then there came a time when he said he cannot fight anymore, and immediately he remembered Krishna. So this remembrance of Krishna, the surrendered, in a surrendered mood, loving surrendered mood, nobody can take away from us. And that is what is the consciousness that we all need to cultivate. If we could do that, then no matter how good, bad, ugly our situations will be, and they will be like that, we our devotionally, spiritually, we will not get affected. And that is the promise that Krishna says, gives. So Prabhupada was all perplexed, but he was never discouraged from serving Krishna. So he went through so many difficulties throughout his life. Even in America, after reaching America in 1965, he suffered enormously for 1 year before the devotees manifested and things changed, things turned around. But Prabhupada used to say that I cannot even narrate how I suffered, how much I suffered in this country for the last 1 year. Uh, so, so, uh, so Prabhupada was always having difficulty in at times thinking how I will serve Krishna in this situation when he didn't had resources, when he didn't had money, he didn't had followers, he didn't had place to live, he didn't had clothes to wear, and he was facing severe cold in foreign land, and culturally everyone so degraded, so different. But he struggled there for 1 year. 1 whole year he struggled, he survived through that torture because he wanted to serve Krishna. This desire to serve Krishna, nobody can take away from us, no matter how difficult situations that we may go through. And if we if we could retain this desire, if we could retain this desire to serve Krishna throughout our life in all situations, our spirituality is protected, our next life is protected, our this life may be good, bad, ugly, and they may remain like this, but our next life is protected, our that life is taken care of. And Krishna can interfere and improve our current life also, but it will depend on his free will, whether he wants to do that, or at times it may so happen that our life improves and we forget Krishna. So Krishna will take that decision basis all of those eventualities. So so it's up to him when to interfere and how much to interfere and what to change in our life. But from our endeavor should be, and that is his mercy, that is his that is what he can do for us. But what we need to do, we need to constantly cultivate this loving service attitude towards Krishna, and wherever given opportunity, we should actually render loving devotional service towards Krishna. If we do our part, then we can depend on him for outcome, whatever. So diligence first, dependence later. uh, then whatever he chooses, we should just accept. Despite of our best effort, if he still chooses us to put us into difficult situation, so be it. I will continue to serve Krishna in that situation. So more our sadhana, more our desire will be to serve Krishna in all situations. The stronger our sadhana, stronger our desire will be to serve Krishna, love and serve Krishna in all situations. Weaker our sadhana, on the contrast, the Krishna consciousness can take backseat. Immediately some problem pop-ups in our life. Yeah, that can also happen. So so that's how we look at the protection aspect of Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Vijay.
whenever there is a problem comes in our life, is it that will reveal that we are lacking lacking in Krishna consciousness or devotional services, Prabhuji?
Himachal Prabhuji,
Hello.
can you repeat the question because your voice was
When
breaking for me?
Prabhuji, we are in this material, we are having material body and this material world. Whenever problems comes, continuous problems comes or day to day all these issues comes, will it reveal that we are lack in Krishna consciousness or devotional services? As if for that we are suffering.
Yeah. So I'll just repeat, you can just confirm. So when the problem comes in our life, is it because of a we are not a good devotee, because of that the problem comes, or is there some other reason for why the
Ah,
problem comes? Okay. So yeah.
is it some other region or in our past life follow we are suffering? Is it that or we are lack in devotional services? Because as you said, we are not able to know our past life. When we are forced to a different body, our memories are erased, so we
Correct.
are not able to recall what we did in our past life or past to past life. Even if we do not able to remember what we have done exactly 24 hours back or 6 months back or 1 week back.
Mm.
So whatever happens, because we are in family as well as in material scenario world, we are living with society, families, relatives. So lot of requirements, expectations, desires are surrounded to me or to us.
Yeah.
So
So
in
so
that scenario,
yeah, your voice is continuously breaking, Prabhuji.
many
हाँ no,
times lot of problems comes, lot of anxieties, worries, tensions.
Mhm.
Those come maybe low here. I was telling that correct it, how to control self. That because sometimes one breaks because of problems and situations. So even suppose we are in family and we have children, so we have brought up them to a higher level. Sometimes they go abroad, they don't care for us. All this happens to many families. So what is the reason for it? Is it because of our past life, or we are we are lack of devotional services, lack of Krishna consciousness? How to conclude and how to rectify, correct ourselves so that our next life or future days should become smoother or better?
yeah. So thank you so much for nice question. So you're continuously breaking, but I got the sense of your
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
can
This is
try
a
and
network
answer.
issue,
Yeah.
might be. So kindly
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
it. Or I wanted to talk to you separately. If you could to share me your personal number,
Yeah.
I
It's
want to
the
speak
same
to
WhatsApp
you also
number is a
sometimes. So
personal
because the
number.
voice is not clear, so could
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
help
So I'll
me?
just
I'll
try
be
and
grateful
answer,
to you.
and you can call me later. We can discuss also. So
Right,
just to
right, right, bro.
summarize his question, thank you so much, Oji. So just to summarize this question, the setbacks or the difficult situations that we suffer in life, is it due to our past karma or is it due to our poor sadhana? So, so the so the so the two parts to it. One is we getting difficulties in life. That is one part, and we suffering is second part. Both are related, but not really related. Prabhupada, we'll use example of Prabhupada, but Prabhupada suffered, went through many difficult situations, but he never suffered. Because why? Because he was always remembering Krishna. Suffering is a choice. Suffering is a choice. So Prabhupada, Krishna says this, labeled this world as a dukkhalayam ashashvatam. A place of misery is what Dukhalaya translation goes like. A place of misery, if we are in the place which is known for its misery, why should we not expect misery? Why should we get surprised when we face misery? So it's like going to a pustakalaya and becoming surprised by seeing books there. What do we expect? You go to a granthalaya or a pustakalaya, obviously you want to see pustaka there or granthas there or books there. So it's not surprising that in this dukhalaya we face misery. We are here because we are criminals. We have done something wrong in our life, and as a result of that, there will be some sufferings which will be coming, our share of suffering which we'll be getting in due course of time, in various ways. Various forms and shape, they will come. uh, the santati sukh is karmic. Our relationship with our spouse is also karmic. There will be many things which are karmic in nature, and if we remain only dependent on our karma, then we will definitely suffer, because we have no other alternate, we have no other way out. There's no plan B that is available with us. But so this coming difficult situations coming in our life is certainly karmic reactions. Whether we choose to suffer or we choose to see those as independent, we it's like it's like if we can raise our consciousness above the ground situation, then it is possible for us not to suffer because of these difficult situations. It's like we give example many times uh, that of a injection. We may sit on a sofa, a nice soft sofa, and suddenly a needle pierces through our body and gives us pain. And it just not gives us pain, it brings us a lot of anxiety and anger in us, because we didn't expected that pain. So but the same experience we get when we go to a doctor and take an injection for something. We get the doctor gives us injection, we experience the same pain. We experience, not only happily cooperate with that pain experience, we also pay doctor for that, giving us that experience. And the reason for that is there's no suffering there. There's a pain, but there's no suffering, because suffering is a matter of choice. Here, because we know why we are experiencing this pain, even the painful inconvenience is there, but suffering is not there. Why? Because we are understanding the situation. So suffering is optional, suffering is a matter of choice. And as we go along in the study of Bhagavad Gita, we will study this in the subsequent chapters of Bhagavad Gita, that chant and be happy is a slogan. It's very famous sentence, chant and be happy. But it has two different meanings. One is chant and be happy. The chanting will lead to happiness. That's one meaning. That's true. If you chant, if you're able to chant nicely, you will experience happiness. Why? Because you're chanting Krishna's name. Through this japa, you are connecting with Krishna, and the moment you connect with Krishna, it will bring happiness into your life. Atyantam sukham ashnute. So this Atyantam Sukha, as it is revealed in the 6.28, that Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham Atyantam Sukham Ashnute. That just by that contact with Krishna, Atyanta Sukha can be experienced. So that's true. So chant and be happy at one level is a cause and effect. If you chant nicely, you will experience happiness. These two can be seen as two different instructions also. Chant, be happy. uh, because happiness is a matter of choice. We can choose to be happy and we can choose to be unhappy also. So as a matter of choice, we it's our choice whether we wish to be happy or wish to be sad. So in every situation, we can be happy, we can choose to be sad also. So 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 that way, so as we go along discussing Bhagavad Gita subsequent chapters, especially I think 17th chapter in which this comes, and wherein Krishna will teach us how to be happy in every situation and how happiness is a matter of choice. So there's a question that was asked. So if you are if you are if you have two sons and one is getting one getting 60 and one is getting both have got 60 marks, both came back from exam and got 60 marks, and you're unhappy with one and you're happy with another one. Now as a father you need to be equal to both your children, but you're justifying your different behavior with two sons. Why? Because the first son where you become unhappy and scolded him used to get 80 before, and now he's got 60, so now you're scolding him. While the other son used to get 40 before, now he's got 60, you're praising him, you're happy. So this so the so this number by itself will not make you happy or unhappy. So it's a matter of choice. You need to choose to be happy, and that is what will make us happy. So this suffering also is a matter of choice. We can choose to suffer if we want to, and we can choose not to suffer if we so want to. But as we'll go along discussing subsequent chapters of Bhagavad Gita, we will we can discuss this more in detail. Okay. So I think there's some questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Imanchal.
Prabhuji.
Since there are no more questions, we can conclude today's session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, sir.
One more is actually typed by Swapnil Prabhuji, so I don't know whether he wants to talk later or.
No, it's okay, Prabhuji. I think it's time. Uh, I'll post that personally.
Okay, thank you so much, Swapnil Prabhuji. So we'll conclude today's session. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all devotees. Have a great
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad
Hare
pranam,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much, Madhvara Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Loudly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you
Dandavat
for a
Pranam.
wonderful session.
Hare Krishna.